Good morning, hoop heads. It's your buddy Choppadon coming at you with an episode of Chop Talk brought to you by the one, the only DFSArmy.com, your one-stop shop for all things DFS, NBA, PGA, MMA. We've got it all. Coaching, content, and tools, and the knowledge to show you how to use the tools. You click the link in the bottom in the comments section, DFSArmy.com. Use coupon code CHOP, C-H-O-P. Today is your last day to get the current pricing. Pricing goes up tomorrow. Get grandfathered in now. If you lock in today, your price never goes up if you stay a member. It's that simple. I can't tell people enough. I try to save you guys money. I do everything I can to throw you coupon codes to encourage you to give us a shot. You're not committed past month to month to month, whatever it is. Thank you to everybody who's tried us. Thank you to everybody who likes and subscribes to the video channel. We just share the information. You're looking at our research station today for NBA. We'll take a little break from football, and we'll dive into today's NBA slate. I am not the NBA expert, but I am learning on a quick pace, and I'm going to show you how to put something together that has done very well for me the past, say, week or so, in conjunction with our coaches' notes and a little bit of direction. If you've got questions, you jump in our coaching channels, you ask the coaches. Golly, who are they? They're all, Ben, Boomer, Keg, CG. Looking down the list here, they're all available, to be quite honest with you. Donuts, Geek's not an NBA guy, Loose. Keep on scrolling down here. I wish I could rattle them off even faster, but I don't want to leave anybody out. Puggle, Mr. Bear's down in there somewhere. There's the Bear Cave. And it's just one fast way to get a lot of information. Of course, we're all joking around, so you can disregard disregard that. But you can see we all horse around. We have a fun time trying to teach people how to play DFS and do a better job at it than they're currently doing. That's why we exist. And one way that I've found to do this, if you watch the tutorial under the NBA tab, you come down here under NBA Tools Tutorials, and you click on Benjamin's video. He shows you every single column in this tool, and the one that I'm most fixated on is the and one column. It is a catch-all metric that brings into play everything from home splits to DVP, to minutes, to usage, to floor, to fantasy points per minute. All of these numbers, past and present, come in with different weights and measures to create a catch-all metric that has been doing very, very well. What does that mean? That means you use those in conjunction with the DFS Army projections. Floor, ceiling, all that good stuff, but the value metric's the one that I watch. The and one is what I watch, the projected, and of course, I'm looking for minutes bumps all the time. You want to scroll over a little bit farther and take a look at this bad boy. You've got past games versus opponent, who owns who. You've got who's hot. 3-game versus 10-game sample sizes showing you, Dennis Smith running hot, Kevin Durant running hot, LeBron James running hot, Steph Curry maybe a little cold over his 3-game versus 10-game average. I love looking at a larger baseline and then comparing it to a shorter sample size to see who's running above and beyond, sort of like day trading stocks for DFS players, if that makes sense. And we do that with minutes, we do that with usage, we do that with a whole bunch of different things. And they're all found in here if you scroll over to the right. Consistency ratings, pace of play, who's paced up today, who's not, etc., etc., etc. I'll show you another quick way to find that out as well. You've got all these sortable columns. You can click on certain games, target certain games. You can also check position by position by position. So the first thing I typically do is I run to the and one column, sort it by descending order, right there. And I rank it from top to bottom. And I'm wanting to see how deep certain positions are tonight. Because typically when a position is deep, I can pay down. When it's scarce, I need to typically pay up. It's not always the case, but it certainly helps point my research in the right direction, get me looking at the right guys, looking at the right things. I'm looking at the and one factor. I'm going to look at overall who's sitting there. I like double digits or better. Not a hard black line in there, but I like looking at double digits or better. So from Josh Hart on up. And these are the guys that I'm looking for projections and value. Like somebody automatically, Wes Matthews pops on me today. I'm going to look down here at the cap differential. That's another column I'm watching now. We know that DK, DraftKings, definitely adjusts more on matchup. They're more dynamic with their pricing. If they see a good matchup or they see an injury key injury somewhere, bam, they jack the other guy up. We can use that as guide on Fanduel. If you're priced higher on DraftKings than you are on FanDuel and your price increased, we can generally assume that the DraftKings algorithm priced you up for a reason. So when we look at the only way to compare dollar for dollar doesn't really work. You're looking for a cap differential. What is DraftKings 9,500 according, as a percentage of their cap? It's X. What is FanDuel's 9,700 according to their cap? It's Y. X minus Y equals the differential. So I'm looking for guys like DeRozan who are priced up on DraftKings today, but FanDuel didn't necessarily react as harshly. Curry, same spot. Aldridge, same spot. Griffin, for sure. Scrolling down a little more, Josh Hart. These are value plays on FanDuel, Josh Jackson, that are going to catch my eye. And if they happen to check a few other boxes, so be it. They will become stronger and stronger plays as the night goes on. What I typically do is make my selections based on this player pool, and then I uncheck all of the boxes in our domination station algorithm, optimizer, and then I check only the players that I want to consider. I've been doing this with great success this year for NFL. I'll take my box checker theory, and that's what this really is. People have been asking, is there a box checkers method for basketball? There is now. It's the and one rating. It checks the boxes for you. But on NFL, you'll see it here tomorrow or Friday. You'll see quarterbacks, home, favored, implied to score a lot of points, efficiency ratings, things like that. Check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. Guys with strong check marks are in very good positions to hit value. We look at very similar things when it comes to other sports, but we've narrowed it down to a catch-all graphic here in NBA. So that's really what you're looking for in this graphic. I'm looking for cheaper guys in this top 10 overall. Dennis Smith, Wes Matthews, Harrison Barnes. These are guys I'm going to be keying on in today's NBA environment where we get to pick a lower price punt and drop a score. Oh, speaking of punts, how can we find those? Using the and one system. Well, we can cut down on the FanDuel salary with a filter that goes less than $4,000. And we'll take the guys with the best and one ratings. Kleber, Jackson, Plumlee, Bellinelli. Look, Jackson's priced down on FanDuel according to DraftKings. Bang. I look for guys typically over an 8 or guys in double digits here, so I don't see any necessarily at the below 4,000 level. That's okay. It's not terrible. I might increase that a little bit today. Let's bump that up to less than 5,000 and see how that works. If you want controls, on your own, under your own fingertips, you need to become a VIP and access this tool. You can't just rely on me showing you what I want to show you. You want to grab the tool and you want to control it yourself and let it show you what you want it to show you. But this tool is a beast. Wes Matthews again, Forbes again, Hart, Monte Morris, Lyles. These guys are popping in. There's Kleber finally. So if I get over the 8, I'm looking at Lyles, Morris, Hart, Forbes, Matthews, these guys. And Morris is on the top, or Matthews is on the top 10 overall for the entire slate. That's telling you how huge this $4,900 is going to be towards value. Our optimizer's already got him predicted at 5.2x. It's got Josh Jackson, who's priced down on FanDuel at 5.7x on FanDuel. I don't know what he is on DraftKings. I don't know what 4,700 necessarily means over on DraftKings. You DraftKings guys can figure that one out because you can click on this for both. You can go to the NBA, go to the research station, and click on DraftKings or FanDuel and do it on both sites. You've got the control. I just happen to play FanDuel, so I show you FanDuel. These are a couple ways to find the punts. Might take a Forbes, might take a Matthews, lock them in, plink in the optimizer, and then run it from there. These are ways that we've been producing quality results out here on the optimizer. Using that to get a little bit different than just running the straight up optimal. The optimal is going to tell me what I'm going to do if I run the optimal lineup, as I'm going to leave it alone, run 5 or 10 lineups, click 3 unique players or so, and then see who the domination station loves. Who is it putting in every single one of my lineups? That's it. And then if I like the guy, I leave him alone. If I don't like the guy, I might pull him out of the player pool. I might decrease his points so that he becomes a little less exposed to my lineups. There's all sorts of things that I can do. And I'll show you guys how to work that another time. But what I'll typically do is build 3 or 4 lineups, throw them out there in a very symmetrical fashion, say $4, $5 mini ladders. Or if I wanted to, if I had the bankroll for, say, hundreds of dollars, I might throw $100 on each single ladder and put 50% of it in cash games, 20% in triple ups or 3-mans. another 20% in quintuple ups or 5-mans, and then another 10% in GPPs and take my shots. I've had good results over the last week. I've lost one night where it was a net loss, and one of the 3 lineups I ran still cashed. It just happened the other 2 didn't. Last night, I think I put in, $25 and came out with 100 or so. So 5x. I mean, that's generally the levels that I play at. I don't know what levels you play at. You play at $4 or $5, fine. We can handle you inside DFS Army. You play at $100 or $2,000, fine. We can handle you inside DFS Army. We've got some big time coaches in here that are coaching guys with great big bankrolls. I've coached guys with 5-figure bankrolls very easily. Just because I played $20 a night doesn't mean I can't tell you how to play $10,000 a night. I know the numbers. I know the math. I can get you right. Don't worry about that. And I can show you the tools, and that's what I love doing. So really what we're going to go through day by day is we'll take this filter off. And I'm not going to show you the top at every single position, but I will show you the basically top overall. And I won't show you how to find the punts necessarily. You got to come inside and be a VIP to do that stuff. I'm just showing you today because I'm giving you a little tip. But we'll walk through a little bit of this, and I'll give you some of the plays that I like when it comes to NBA. And I'm going to be using my metrics very, very heavily. And you may like my plays, you may not. That's totally fine. You can sort off by position here. The one thing that I will do when we get away from this a little bit, we'll run over to the first look just because I like this graphic right now. And I want to show you points per game. I wrote all of these down. These are the average points per game. We want to focus on high team totals and guys that are going to experience more pace of play tonight because it's going to lead to more possessions of the ball, which is going to lead to more opportunity to score fantasy points. These are a couple of other key indicators that NBA needs to focus on. So the Warriors at 124, LA Lakers 122, Denver 113, round it to 114, Mavericks 111. These are their average points per game. And if you follow me out on Twitter, you'll notice that I put out who is pointed up and who is pointed down tonight. And the teams that are pointed down based on, let me look at Denver for instance. They were a 111 and they're a 113 tonight. So they're up 2 points. Okay? The teams that are pointed down, that are projected to score underneath their average so far this year, is worth paying attention to. And the reason why is if they score less, then there's less fantasy points to go around. And if they score less, generally speaking, they're priced on their average, how they usually perform. They're overpriced. You want to get away from some of those guys, some of those teams tonight, or you at least want to look at them with kind of, I want to say a conservative eye, but it's not the word that I'm looking for. I don't even know what the hell the word I'm looking for is, to be quite honest with you. But I will tell you that right now, Golden State's pointed down only 1 point, insignificant. Lakers down 1, Denver up 2, Dallas up 2, Sacramento down 1, Utah down 1, New Orleans down 11 points. 111 tonight versus 122 normally. I mean, that's not speaking well for New Orleans, and a lot of people are going to flock to them for Anthony Davis and for guys like and maybe he's in a great matchup and maybe he eats anyway. But according to Vegas, we need to be looking at that with I keep wanting to go back to the word condescending, but we want to look at that with a critical eye. That's probably the word I was searching for. You want to look at it with a little bit of concern. Because you want to dig a little deeper and see if it still makes sense, because Vegas is telling you they might be overpriced tonight. Minnesota down 5, Brooklyn up 1, Indiana up 1, Chicago up 3, Detroit down 6, Phoenix down 1, New York Knicks down 6. So New Orleans, Minnesota, Detroit, and New York are all down 5 points or more off their average on the year. I'd be looking cautiously. That's probably the damn word I was looking for. I'd be looking cautiously at them. I threw about 5 or 6 C words at you today. I guess C is the magic letter for today for those of you that are big friendly Sesame Street people like I am. Now, there's nobody significantly really pointed up, but we can look for pace of play. And by sorting this column out, we can see who's paced up. We can see that in the research station too. I just happened to pull this up today before the research station was loaded and ready to go today. And I was writing down my player pool because my player pool is big. And it takes a little while to write it down based on the and one metric, but that's what I do. Golden State paced up. Very interesting. Dallas Mavericks paced up. And then the rest, not so much. And then down here, Phoenix and New York paced down. So again, Phoenix and New York pointed down and paced down, telling you they're probably overpriced for the matchup tonight. Phoenix paced down, might be a little bit overpriced. Golden State might be a value other than the fact that they're pointed down a little. It's New Orleans I'm really concerned about. It says they're paced up a little bit, but they're way pointed down. Dallas might be an interesting play tonight. You can also search through DVPs and stuff if matchups matter to you. You know, this is Notorious's first look article, but I'm finding that matchups don't matter a ton. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to sweat it too hard. I'm going to come back to my player pool. I'm going to write down names like DeRozan, Curry, LeBron James, Jordan, Gobert, Kevin Durant. I know, big whoop, right? These are just all studs on the slate. But what you're going to find is when you use this system and you start searching for punts, it's going to find them for you. And these are going to be the guys that you lock in that are set for some pretty mega value down in here. Lock in Josh Jackson tonight. Check his game logs, make sure he's running consistently. In fact, let's just run his, and then we'll get out of here. But let's just find Josh Jackson again. Down here at 5.7, why does the optimizer like him so much? If I come over here to minutes, not really getting any more minutes. We don't have a line imported in from Vegas yet. His pace of play is down tonight, so I don't know why it's really liking him other than the fact that he's cheap. And other than the fact that he's hit consistency, what, 4x? And he didn't even find, now, I don't know. I don't know what else this metric is looking at, telling me that at 3,700, he is some great freaking play tonight, popping all over the place. For 3,800, I might take a Max Kleber instead. You know, and then run around that. But I'm looking at 5.7 with a 23-point projection, and maybe somebody's missing in that lineup that we'll find out through news later today. You know, maybe it's something that I don't know yet. But the bottom line is, very interesting to find that no consistency, and he's just all of a sudden projected for points tonight. Very, very interesting. Minutes aren't up. You know, usage isn't up. It's very, very interesting to know. But those are things that we'll dig into. Those are things our coaches will be talking about. Ask them about Josh Jackson. Do you like him? Domination Station loves him. And if they say they don't like him, ask why. Pick their brains. Learn. Learn so that you don't have to depend on somebody else to spoon feed you information. Pick their brains so that you can get it answered once and then know for the future what to look for that these guys are looking for. That's how you use the coaching inside DFSArmy.com. Anyway, that's a little bit of your NBA slate today, a little bit of a showcase of the tools, how to use them. Maybe we'll come back some other day, do Domination Station, and show you that. But that's what I'm looking at and where my last week has gone. I'm 6 out of 7 slates. I'm profitable. I don't know basketball from a freaking hole in the ground. But what I know is how to read spreadsheets and numbers, and when I get told what certain metrics look for, bang, I can pinpoint the easy catch-all statistics for you and matchups and put you on them too so that you can start winning yourself. Now, I specialize in bankroll management, contest selection, things like that. If you need stuff like that, hey, I got $100 tonight, where would I put it? That's what you need me for. Otherwise, you need our coaches. Come on inside DFSArmy.com, take a look at me. Get in here before prices go up. I'm your buddy Chopadong. CHOP CHOP is the coupon code to knock 10% off the savings. Get grandfathered in today and get rocking and rolling with NBA. We've got NFL coming. We've got hockey rolling all the time. Guys, jump in here and let's rock and roll this thing. I'll see you on the inside. This is Chopadong. I'm out. I'm going to go research some more NBA today.